the whole point of a diet is to get healthy, but
And to
really
be
what you
well.
want to do is change your lifestyle to be healthier. And one great way to start or jumpstart a healthier lifestyle is to do a whole body cleanse. Now joining us is Danielle Perry. She is from Eagle Vision Nutrition. She's a nutritionist, and she's going to tell us about why cleansing can be so beneficial. Danielle, so nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning.
So cleansing is one of those things that we should consider doing. I would recommend seasonally. So maybe once in the winter, once in the spring, once in the fall, once in the summer. And what cleansing allows our body to do is to help get rid of toxins. And toxins are everywhere. Toxins are in processed food. Toxins are in the environment. Toxins are in the products that we use as women, the beauty products, the shampoo, the makeup. All of these things are heavily laden with toxins.
And so more or less a cleanse is a prescribed list of foods and supplements that you should eat that more or less strips your body and starts you back at zero.
Correct, because without that, to get rid of fat is really difficult. So what happens is toxin is lipophilic, which means it likes fat. It gets stored in fat cells. And so our body's way of protecting ourselves from getting exposed to all these toxins throughout our body is to hold onto the toxins in our fat. And so you can go to all the sweaty yoga classes, you can go to all the boot camp classes you want to, and you're trying to lose fat. And what's happening is while you're losing fat, the toxins are getting released into your body and causing more damage than when they were just hanging out in your fat cells. So the idea of cleansing is eating vegetables, eating other foods that help your body get rid of toxins in a safe way, while also burning fat.
Now you really do notice a difference in the way that you feel, the way that you look.
Absolutely.
And how long should a cleanse typically be?
Well, there's so many cleanses out there. There's 3-day cleanses, there's 2-week cleanses. I happen to just develop a 21-day whole food cleanse. And my idea with this 21 whole food day cleanse is to eat as many greens as you possibly can. I kind of give my clients a do this every day list. And greens, I have people eat 2 to 3 cups of salad greens. I have people eat 3 to 5 cups of dark leafy greens, cucumbers, celery. This is cilantro and parsley. Cilantro and parsley help bind to heavy metals and excrete from your body. We have some chia seeds right here. Chia seeds also bind to toxins in our bile and help excrete out of our body. Without something like chia seeds or aloe, the toxins end up not getting excreted. They get reabsorbed into our bile, and then your body keeps them.
Now let's talk about the end of a cleanse. People go on a 21-day journey, and I'm sure by the end they're craving a pizza. So you do the cleanse, and then how do you re-establish yourself to your regular eating habits?
Well,
You just go straight to the pizza again?
No, absolutely not.
I would plan on it.
The goal with my cleanse is I have people keep away from all of the highly allergic foods, and so I tell people, you've done all this work. You don't want to dive right back into eating foods and not know which ones you might be sensitive to. So I recommend, if you're going to introduce corn back into your diet, don't eat the corn chips. Try some good corn, some non-genetically modified corn. See how your body reacts to it. Wait a few days. Okay, and then introduce eggs, and then introduce wheat berries rather than than white Wonder Bread. So gradually, exactly.
And it's kind of like what we learned in high school. You're doing a science experiment. You want that control, and you want the variable, so you can isolate things at a time.
So the cleanse allows you to start from ground zero again. And so you want to introduce slowly. And the reason you won't be craving the pizza afterwards
I'll
is
be craving the pizza.
That's a challenge. I think you should try my cleanse test.
I'm gonna eat a whole pizza.
So the idea with my cleanse is eating a high percentage of really good quality fat. And that keeps you satiated. I eat probably about 50 to 60% of my diet as fat. And a lot of that is coconut oil and chia seeds and avocado.
Good fats.
And olives and olive oil, exactly.
What I want to know is what kind of difference will you see and feel in your body after you do a cleanse?
Okay, so you have that fog when you're, the carbohydrate fog they talk about and the caffeine fog. So all of that goes away. The first thing I really notice is how soft my skin gets. I go up to everyone and I say, feel my skin, I've been cleansing.
Part of me wants to feel your skin. May I?
Soft
I'm gonna do
skin.
it.
Okay, go ahead, Seth.
Before we,
That's soft skin.
Wow.
So that's one thing that really, really happens. The energy level gets more stabilized. You don't have the ups and the downs. And basically, you're not craving crappy food anymore. You're craving real food.
You feel good. You obviously would lose weight because you're eating healthy.
You're going to lose weight, most likely, if
and
your
it's
body needs it.
Something that, you know, you can feel good about.
That's
feel
right.
good about doing. Well, that's great. And cleanse is a great way. Like you said, there's all different ones out there. But
Yep.
this is a 21-day. And we'll be back with you to make a recipe that's part of the cleanse.
That's right.
So people
That's right.
can jumpstart.
Hey, speaking of we are back with Danielle Perry, your nutritionist, with Eagle Vision Nutrition. You've got some cleansing recipes with us, and this is a pilaf recipe.
This is a pilaf recipe.
But it's tweaked. It doesn't have all the butter. It doesn't have all the stuff that I love in the pilaf recipe. But I'm sure I'll like it.
That's right, and the thing about this pilaf recipe is it gets sautéed. The way you start off is with olive oil, and when you use olive oil while cooking, you want to make sure that you use a very low temperature. Olive oil is known to oxidize on higher temperatures, and when you oxidize your oils, that causes damage within your arteries, and it can cause inflammation and lead to heart disease. So even though olive oil is so good for you, when heated at high temperatures, it's not
Becomes
good
bad for you.
That's
What's
right.
your take as a nutritionist on all those other oils that are out there? You know, you see the almond oil, the avocado oil. Almost everything is an oil now.
That's right.
Good, bad. Do we stick with the standard?
So my 3 favorite oils are olive oil.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to say 4. Flax oil, but you have to be careful because that can oxidize also. So you want to keep it at certain temperatures, store it at certain temperatures. Coconut oil is my favorite.
Coconut
I think
oil.
every time I come on here, I mention coconut
do.
oil. And also the avocado oil is good. And
Okay.
Yeah, and so those are my 3 favorite
Those are
oils.
the go-to oils.
Canola
Okay.
oil?
No.
Nope. Genetically modified.
Vegetable oil?
Vegetable
No.
oil blend? No. Soybean oil?
No.
Every time you see vegetable oil, it's mostly a combination of sometimes peanut, but mostly canola and soybean oil.
If it's sold, general rule, if it's sold in that big, huge bottle, avoid it.
Avoid
You
it.
want the smaller
That's
bottles.
right. Yep.
So let's start whipping this up.
So
do we do
how
it?
we start whipping this up is we would cook the grains separately. Today I have these 3 grains that we're combining to make the pilaf. We have millet, we have brown rice, and we have quinoa. And how we would do it is we would saute up some scallions with the olive oil, and we would add the grains and add vegetable broth.
So we're
to it.
sauteing the grains. It's not like the old-fashioned way you cook rice when you boil the heck out of it.
Well, we're doing a little bit of both. First, we're going to saute it all together, and then we're going to add the vegetable broth to cook in it. So while it's cooking in the vegetable broth, it absorbs the flavors of the vegetables
kinda
rather
more
than
like a
just a plain
risotto.
water. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's more
And-
risotto-ish then.
And you could bake this in the oven, or you can do it on the stovetop.
Can you really?
Yes, you can.
Huh.
Yep, bake it at 350 in the oven, and that's always really good. If you pressed for time, stovetop's a little quicker. But what I want to show you is how to make this lovely dressing that goes with it. And this dressing is a really good detoxifying dressing. As I spoke earlier, I'm going to use that knife if you don't mind.
There you are.
Thank you. Parsley is a great detoxifier. It really helps our body get rid of heavy metals. And that's a good thing these days, you know, with
Now, when you say heavy metals, like alkaline comes to mind. Is that one of the things you're talking
sure,
about? Okay.
mercury. Mercury is
okay.
another one. Yep, for sure.
And all these things just stick to your insides. We're going to get them out.
Yeah, we're gonna help get them out. We're gonna encourage them to come out. And so here we have parsley. We put about a cup's worth of parsley in here.
And I see already started in the cup. What is this, maybe a half cup of water, something like
Yeah,
that?
about 3/4 cup. 3/4 to a cup. All
So
right, we're gonna
parsley
stop
in
right there. Yep.
Is this a little kale?
That's kale. We're not going to use kale
That's
for
just
this.
because it looked good.
It looks pretty. Kale
does
always
look
looks
pretty.
pretty. And what we would do is either saute kale or we could steam the kale as part of this. And how I would serve it at the end is the pilaf on the bottom, put the sauteed or the steamed greens on top of that, and then we would add our beautiful dressing on top of that.
Now, what are you pouring in here
This
right now?
is tahini, which is ground sesame seeds.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's in almost every hummus recipe you'll see people
It
use
sure
tahini.
is. It sure is. And this is probably something you might not have heard of. This is called ume plum vinegar.
Huh, look at this.
This is a-
it's different than regular balsamic or white?
Yep, it's a vinegar made from plums. It's a Japanese vinegar, and we're going to put about 2 tablespoons in there. It's extremely salty. It's very good salt.
Yeah.
So we're going to take the immersion blender.
Okay, blender stick or immersion blender.
Yep.
I figured it would get a whole lot more messy in here right now. Oh, there we go. It's getting a little messy.
It's got a little messy.
Now, do you want it to be fully pureed or do you want to have it a little bit chunky?
You want it fully pureed. Yep.
And this dressing works on pretty much anything.
That's right. It's great on steamed greens. It's good on salads.
You know, the smell that I'm getting from it now, maybe like throw it on fish too if you're trying to get really healthy.
Yep. You could totally put it on fish. So it does take a little while to get going, but this is a great detoxifying dressing. And I am having a hard time blending it right now.
Well, you
I'm
know
not
what?
sure why.
How about we take a taste of it at the end of the show?
That sounds
If we have
great.
time, we'll take
That
a test.
sounds great.
And if you want more information on the cleanse or anything you've seen from Danielle today, just mymassappeal.com a little bit later.